1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Hey, we got it. We got the win. It's ugly. It's not how we expected to play. But I don't care. 3 points is 3 points. However, we do need to have some conversations about some players that are not performing as we think they should. Stay tuned. Hola, theaters. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Rican reaction. And 1-0. 1-0. Set piece goal. Back post Trossard is the difference at Craven Cottage. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I thought it was boring first half. But we got the job done. We got the job done. We're still top of the table. We're putting some space on our rivals. So that's solid. But yeah, the game wasn't pretty, man. Like I just came back from the group chat. Everybody's saying the same thing. Yeah, it's great. We got the 3 points. But at what point do we start to worry about the fact that we're not scoring goals from open play? Set pieces work, but we saw last year and the year before that they work until they don't. And then we have to have some kind of backup plan. And right now, it just doesn't seem like it's clicking on the offensive end of the pitch. So let's just talk about the stats. We had 16 shots to their 9, 5 on target. They didn't have any on target. 63% possession. And yeah, I think for parts of it, we looked like we were dominating. But the one thing that I will say with how we play sometimes is teams will catch us on a counter. And if they can finish, I think we're in trouble. I think Fulham couldn't finish, which is good for us, but they had some chances where you're just like, you know, a millimeter to the left or right, and we could be in trouble. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm being hypercritical, I just think on the offensive end of the pitch, we weren't clinical enough, and we haven't been clinical enough. And part of me worries, you know, as I said, when it comes to better teams, what will happen if we can't score from open play. Now, I'm gonna say a positive. So positive is we beat Fulham at Craven Cottage, something that we haven't done in the last couple years. We've gotten it done. We've got 3 points, still top of the table. That's great. Week 8, still top of the table, and that's what we expected. That's what I wanted, and we got the 3 points. We got the win, but I can be critical of how we play. And I just want to talk about a couple players because I think we are approaching the conversation point. And let's start with Victor Gyökeres. I, like every other Arsenal fan this summer, was gassed when we got Gyökeres. I thought that, you know, he would adjust, but he would eventually take the league by storm. And it still might happen. We are still in week 8 of 38, so we still got 30. But I'm seeing some things that worry me when it comes to Gyökeres. Firstly, he tends to not stay on his feet. He falls. He had a couple ones. I mean, if we're looking at, you know, some of the shots he had as well, you know, there was one. He basically has, you know, everything he needs for a shot on target, and he skies it. A couple that were straight at the keeper. He shoots with power, but I just think in some instances when he has that space, he needs to do better. And I think that's the difference between playing in the Portuguese league and playing in the Prem. So in Portugal, he would have had that space. You know, you do a half turn, you get a shot off. Your goalkeeper might be out of position. You know, your defender might be weak, so you've done the turn. He's fallen over. You've got a shot. The Prem's not like that. Even the bottom of the table teams will have defenders that will stick with you. Even bottom of the table teams will have good goalkeepers. I mean, Berlino was the Arsenal goalkeeper. So it's not going to be easy to get shots. It's not going to be easy to get space. And I think that he needs to do a little bit better with the opportunities we get. And, you know, it came up in the group chat again. are we giving Gyökeres grace that we wouldn't afford someone like Kai Havertz? And it's a valid conversation. If Kai Havertz was having this form, would we slate him? The answer is yes. So you can't say, you can't be, oh, Victor Gyökeres is good, he'll come good, when, Kai Havertz was having the same struggles that we were slating him. I don't think that's fair. I still think that he will come good. I still think that he will find his footing. But based on what we're seeing, it's not looking like he's doing anything. And I think the criticism is warranted. I know that, when you've been paid to be the number 9, you can't just be a space invader. Like, you have to actually contribute something. So, yeah, we'll see Atletico. We have Atletico coming up, and we can see if he can get something in there. But, yeah, questions need to be raised about what Gyökeres is doing and why he isn't able to contribute more. Now, one thing I can say, and one thing I've been looking, he doesn't move. Like, when we have the ball, when we in possession, he's not like moving side to side. He's not trying to like do runs. He's kind of just standing there and waiting, I guess, on the next pass to make the run, which it's fine. But within our system, and the reason that our manager loves Kai so much is he's constantly moving. He's constantly trying to get open. He's constantly trying to receive the ball. And I don't think that's Gyökeres' game. Another thing that I've noticed, we don't tend to pass down the channels. And there were a couple opportunities to just, have a quick through ball and let him go one-on-one with the keeper. And we just tend to shy away from those passes. I don't know why, but we do. So I think it's a twofold problem. However, when he does have the chance, I think he needs to do better. As far as the rest, I can't really... Today, I don't really think I saw much of Eza. I can't remember anything when he did spectacular. And that worries me as well, because you've had a guy who has come from being the man to basically being at this big club where you're not, as much the man, but he just seems like he's not on it either. And I don't know if that's whether it's the spotlight, it's, coming to a big team that holds possession, because, Palace aren't going to beat you holding possession. They're going to hit you on the counter. And that's not how we play. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. But, yeah, Eza looked kind of off the pace as well. And he was taken off for Marino. And, yeah, Calafiore is... The guy has license. He has license to do whatever he wants. I don't know why. I don't know, why our manager... will allow our left back to have more license than, say, our attacking midfielder or our striker. But, Calafiore, I saw Calafiore at, right 8. I saw him at center forward at one point. Like, he just kind of runs around and does everything. And, when we're in possession, that looks good. But there were a couple times where, Gabriel passes the ball and he passes it to Fulham. Calafiore is not there. So... you've got to recover. And a better team, I think, exploits that. But, like I said, that's just me being critical. Our defense, as I said before, I don't think anybody can score against us. I don't think anybody is... Yeah, I think that we could keep clean sheets all day, especially against the lower level teams. Because I don't see anybody, actually giving us trouble. But I do worry that against the better teams, we will struggle. We will struggle if we can't score goals. If Fulham were to nick a goal, do I feel that we'd have just come back on the other end and scored on? The way we played today, nah, I don't think so. So, as I said, that's just criticism. All in all, not the best performances, but we got the 3 points that I'm happy with, top of the table. And I'm just excited to get back to Champions League. I love the Champions League. I can't wait to play Atletico Madrid, although everyone's billing that as a snore fest because of the way that we've been playing football and the way that Atletico is known to play football. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, can't complain. Top of the table, 3 points. On to Liverpool. We're putting pressure. Hopefully they'll drop some points. And, yeah, we go into next weekend's game, top of the table, and sitting with a cushion. Take it easy.